Rest on this station do not reflect the owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Monday, the first day of March 2021. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman, along with Carla Zool. Thanks for making us part of your daily routine. If you're watching online, share the link. If you're on Facebook, start a watch party. If you're on Twitter, retweet it. If you're watching on channel 82, call somebody and let them know we're on. Just get the conversation out there to your network. And don't forget to like and engage with us. A good one to begin the week as we welcome LaToya Bean on to discuss International Women's Day. The Daily Play is a Who Said It. That means Carla is guessing a famous quote by a famous person.
Male or female?
See, you're trying to get hints already. Well, look, Carla goes through on these streaks. She's pretty much like a Manchester United manager. If you know anything about football, they get excited because they don't lose about 13 games, and then they all of a sudden lose 24, right? So that's what Carla is. She's on, what streak are you on right now?
No idea, but I always end on a good streak on a Friday. So
that's because it's the easiest game to play. We played a feud, number one answers, and it's usually something nasty that she gets right, folks. But this is a PG show. Let's keep that in mind. But look, we have a lot to do. First off, how was your weekend? Did you do anything fun?
Yesterday, me and my oldest and my youngest, we just drove around. My youngest tends to ride with his friends through canals and stuff. So he showed us these different places to go and looking at new build houses. He knows more than us. We're like, wow. So after the show, we're going to go for a walk because we drove yesterday. So I told him I'm going to exercise, right? So we're going for a walk after. But otherwise than that, regular weekend stuff. I actually relaxed. I slept a lot this weekend, thankfully.
Have they relaxed like the laws out there, like the COVID restriction laws out there, or is in the UK?
No, it's still the same, pretty much. It's supposed to, school goes back on Monday for all three. Woohoo! Got my Wi-Fi back. The little one who, as you know, does not have an affinity for school, he's like, Mommy, they are jeopardizing our health. And if you send me back, you're wrong. It's funny.
Your brother's got a
but they're saying they're serious because they said they're going to fine if you don't send your child to school on Monday. You risk a fine.
Interesting. It's fascinating to me how many different jurisdictions have different rules. Someone in Florida said to me last week, said Florida's just lawless, but I take video and I pictures and I just watch things how they operate in Florida, and it's so many interesting perspectives on what's being done. I've spoken to people who go up north to the Northeast, and people treat them like, oh, you're from Florida, like you're this walking disease. And then you look at the flights coming down from the Northeast to Florida, everyone's on a beach and so on. It's just it's weird. It's weird how people are responding to this, especially depending on where they are. But well, we're going to avoid the politics of COVID today. And my weekend, Carla? Oh, thanks for asking, Carla. Thanks for asking.
I was going to ask. Stop your noise.
Okay.
So weird.
I had an okay weekend. I got my first massage since that bad one a couple weeks ago. And she was impressive. Woke up with a bit of back pain, and she took care of that for me. So
this is the third different masseuse, or is this a repetitive one? No, okay.
Third different one, because the one that I had that I enjoyed before, the one that was bad last time, she doesn't work on Sundays, and so I got a new lady yesterday, and when I called to make the appointment, they were like, "Oh, do you want the same person as last time?" And I didn't know, how do you say no in a respectful manner?
No, no, thank you.
It
How
doesn't come
no?
out, it doesn't come out like that from me though. I don't I have issues, it doesn't come out like that from me. So I just said, "Do you have anyone else?" And they got me someone else, and they didn't disappoint. So I feel much more relaxed today. Can't you see? I mean, I'm smiling a bit more. I mean, it doesn't take, well, it does take a lot. Anyway, let's move on. So we have LaToya Bean coming up. Oh, I heard that. We have LaToya Bean coming up, International Women's Day next Monday. So we'll be discussing that. But I want to get to some things that we came across this weekend on social media. And I'm just going to put the question out there right now. Is it ever okay for anyone, let alone a non-Black person, to use the N-word? That's the question of the morning. Now, we're not going to get into specific cases, but I've come across quite a few conversations on social media, both in Bermuda and outside of Bermuda, where people have to make it known that it's not okay, regardless. And let's use a white person, right? A white person uses the N-word because they have Black friends or because it's in a song and they sing that lyric. Now, if you know me, I have an issue with Black people using the word. It's not a matter of how you're saying it, whether it's derogatory or not. Now, I'm going to share a story, and hopefully she don't mind. My wife and I, before we were married, still, I guess, in the dating stage. I don't know if we ever dated, but whatever. But when we were in that stage, I never forget, one night she didn't speak to me, right? And it wasn't until the next day we both realized what she thought I said. She must have asked me something, and you all call me grumpy. I still don't understand this nonsense. I'm the happiest person you've come across. But she says to me, she said something to me, and I said, "Man, you're such a nagger," right? And she must have thought I said the other word. And so it weren't to the next day when I said something, and she said, "Oh, you said nagger. I thought you said da 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 da." I'm like, "Nah, I don't use that word. Like, I legit do not. I see no point. It's like it's no need for me to use it." That's my stance, pretty much. Period. Rapper, whatever. When it comes to people that are not Black using it, if I have an issue with Black people using it around me or directed at me, of course I'm going to have an issue with a non-Black person using it. So that's where I stand with the word. Carla, you seem like you're eager to share your opinion on it.
I'm just sitting here listening because I was like, oh, people's going to eat me alive for this one. But I think it stems from when we as Blacks use it, just a collective we. I don't use it in my vocabulary. I used to use it a lot when I went to school. I went to UGA, to University of Georgia, and that was the first time I ever heard that word being used so freely to and fro between Black people, not from whites, but Blacks, right?
Mhm.
And being out there for a few years, I started to incorporate it in my vocabulary. And some people were looking at me really strange. And then I outgrew it. So it's gone. But until we as Blacks start setting the example, it almost, to me, gives non-Blacks license to do it. Because you hear people say it, it's as boring and as cliche as it is. Oh, well, if you guys call each other that, then why can't we? And in this generation or the younger generation, I keep thinking I'm young, sorry.
Sorry.
In this time, with the way that everyone of every hue are such good friends, I think that gives people that comfortability, because I don't think that they're saying it in a disrespectful way, but they have to understand that that should not be a word in their vocabulary. But I don't think it's okay either. But if I call you fat, then, and I keep calling you fat, then I'm giving someone else permission to call you fat.
So you think if your children call you mama, everybody on the street could call you mama?
Nice try, Jamal, but you got my point.
No.
But look at it. I mean, you have people that are in interracial relationships. I think it's okay. Or this one that drives me crazy. My best friend is Black. Like, I don't see color. To some people, it's just a word, and I don't condone it at all, because you should know that that is not a word to be used in your vocabulary. Rather, it's ending in an ER or an A.
Mhm.
Okay, because some people say that's a difference too.
Mhm.
It's not right. And then when they try to justify it, I'm just like, whatever.
Let's go to the comments. Linda Bell says, "Good morning. No, it is not all right. It is too much history behind the meaning." Deb Ford says, "The N word is disrespectful no matter how and who uses it." Kathy Rogers says, "It's never okay." In brackets, my view. Robert Durham says, "I agree, Carla. Ditto." Robert Durham says, "If you don't want it, don't use it." And James Birch also states, "Words will always have a history, meaning, and subjective power." I get you, but I hear you, Carla. But I think we're treading very dangerously when we say things like, if you allow one person to do it, then all of a sudden you're given free license. And there's so many things we can kind of use at that, as in place of that. Um, you know, at the end of the day, the words, to go to what James Birch is saying, it's okay to use certain language in your household. That's not okay outside of your household. I get that. There's certain language you use around friends, that, well, unless you're like me, that you won't use around your parents, right? There's certain, it's like drinking. There are certain places where you're gonna drink alcohol, and certain places you're not gonna drink it. People, you're gonna drink it around. Certain people, you're not gonna drink it around. Smoke weed. So I don't necessarily agree with the giving license to people who are not black. I think those people have a responsibility to understand the history and the context of the word. No, to go back to your point, everyone who's using the word isn't doing so negatively, right? But when you look at, I read this morning that they changed the name from Uncle Ben's to something Ben. It's still got Ben in it, but and you saw what they did with Aunt Jemima. Now changed it to whatever. But there's so many things that are changing due to long-standing racist history connected to them, and I just don't think there's ever a comfort level that any non-black person should feel, regardless of the music, regardless of who their friends are or who they're in a relationship. There's never a time to feel. That's almost like saying, and I'm going to use the B word, which probably isn't even as negative as the N word, right? It's like, I don't even like to rap that word, move, get out the way. I don't feel comfortable saying it. I don't. But in certain conversations, it may come up and it may be used. But is it, I don't think anyone's giving me free license. If you're ever on her singing, move, get out the way, I don't think you're saying, oh, well, it's okay to use that word or refer to you as it. It's a stretch, but just trying to give some context.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. But I mean, and you get because I feel it's a deep responsibility. If someone's rapping it to them, they feel, oh, well, I can rap it because, just for example, just I see KRS-One. KRS-One rapped it. Does that mean that's okay? Does that mean that you can do that? So I don't know. I and especially when I don't know, when it comes to, I keep saying I don't know because
I don't know. Go back. Who did you say rapping it? Who was that?
KRS. It was just an example of a rapper from my day, right? Because some people say, "Wow, so and so, who's somebody modern? Drake rapped it, so I can rap it too." You know, the baby did it, so I can do it too. And you should just not feel comfortable saying that without being afraid of potential repercussion. Because I know I would give, especially a non-black, the side eye if I heard that come out of the mouth.
Well, I read an article recently. What's his name? What's his name? I don't remember the name. It was a country singer. His record sales actually went up after he used the N word.
Oh, the boy the other day who they say I can't, a young boy, so I'm not familiar with him. But yeah, and then he came on and said he was drunk. And I mean, they showed his video quite widely where he was screaming it to the top of his lungs. And he was just like, oh, I'm drunk and I've been clean for 48 hours now. Like, really, go away.
Really? Okay. Let's go to some comments. Amanda Kelly, fighting word, very offensive, not acceptable. And Kendra Lee, Dr. Pierman says, we need to lift people up with positive words rather than engage in any words that connotate negativity. All right. Well, we're going to get away from this conversation a bit. Go to the news break with Carla, take a commercial break, come back with another important conversation with LaToya Bean, International Women's Day. Folks, don't use the N-word and don't give people license to use it around you. It's never okay. It's never okay. Not even if you're reciting the lyrics to your favorite rap song. Replace it. I mean, when you listen to the radio, doesn't it just get replaced or go silent? So just speak with I mean, hold up. Where is it? Because we have it just for Carla, folks. Where is it? So all you got to do is be like, I'm having a day. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, look, I call that my Carla button, right? But hey, let's go to the news break. We'll take a commercial break and be back with LaToya. Stick with us.
Plans to cut funding for unfulfilled public sector posts will save the government $20 million, the finance minister said on Friday. Curtis Dickerson confirmed a pledge made last month to defund vacant positions so that the cash could be used elsewhere. The finance minister did not reveal how many positions would be affected, but it is understood that it could be more than 100. He made no mention of earlier suggestions that the government would offer employees aged 55 or more early retirement packages. Mr. Dickerson said, to properly manage and allocate public finances in support of the government's mandate, the public service must be the right mix of human resources, programs, and prudent spending. Achieving this is no easy task, but in this coming fiscal year, we will renew the effort. Therefore, in fiscal year 2021-22, I have determined to defund any vacant posts until the funding for it has been allocated in support of delivering a service or active recruitment for the post is underway. And that was courtesy of the Royal Gazette. When was the last time someone gave you a genuine compliment? Not just one of those things that people say to fill the awkward silence, but an actual legitimate compliment. People like to be appreciated and are often even motivated by it. Studies have shown that people who receive compliments on their work are much more likely to improve their performance than those who are not. World Compliment Day is the ideal time to share that feeling of well-being with the people in the world around you. Turning to weather, the temperature in Bermuda is expected to reach a high today of 72. Atlanta, Georgia will see a high of 64. And Nottingham, UK, a high of 45. That's your Daily Hour news break.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Stick with us. We'll be back.
Good day, Medical House Doris speaking. Can I help you?
Medical House is Bermuda's leading one-stop shop for healthcare.
Medical House is a great resource for Leroy. The service is excellent.
Medical House is best known for its uniforms and footwear. It has hundreds of styles of scrubs and nurses' uniforms for health professionals. Bermuda's top doctors, dentists, care homes, and the hospital choose Medical House for a wide range of products. These same professional quality products are available to you for home health care.
The biggest reason to come see us is that we specialize in these areas and the education and knowledge that we provide.
Medical House is on Millreach Lane in Pembroke, where there's private parking right outside the door. Call or visit Medical House today.
Welch's, producers of the world's best-known grape juice, have been based in Concord, Massachusetts since 1869. Distributed in Bermuda by John Barrett & Son, Welch's has become a household name. We're featuring Welch's 100% Concord grape and Niagara grape juices, distinctively delicious and heart-healthy, and ushering in bold new flavors. Welch's Super Berry Juice, combining the Concord grape with aronia berries for tartness and mangosteen for sweetness, and Welch's White Grape Peach and flavored blend of white grape, pear, apple, and peach juices. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
All right, welcome back to the big show. Carla Zool, I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House One Communications, Lindo's, and our friends over at Channel 82, where you can also watch this and many other locally produced shows if you have One Communications cable. So get there, my friends. A lot of quality, good content. Without further ado, let's bring
Jamal, I think you look so handsome today.
Was that something to do with your days of the year? Give someone a compliment or something?
It was a genuine compliment. You look so handsome today.
Well, I'm gonna kill that genuine compliment because I look handsome every damn day. So don't think you are. That ain't a compliment to me. Nah. True story. You've never been in an office and someone says, "Oh, you look very nice today," and the person's been like, "So how did I look yesterday?" Yeah, I've experienced that. I'm like, my goodness, I can't give compliments anymore.
Offensive.
Yeah.
I tried.
Well, Carla, thank you. You look nice every day. See how I did that? See what I did there? Anyway, let's bring in LaToya. Hopefully, chances are she looks better than both of us. We have t-shirts on, but LaToya Bean, everyone from the International Women's Day. Welcome to the show, LaToya.
Good morning, guys. How you doing today?
Good morning, Toy.
We're good.
Yes, I'm backstage having a good giggle at both of you. I love the energy. I love the energy.
You look lovely today, Toy, and I mean that.
Thank you, hon. and so do both of you.
Thank you, but that's different because you don't see LaToya every day, so it's like she can't say what I said back to you. But it's a pleasure having you, LaToya. It really
kills me.
Let's get into the conversation. I think this is a very important day coming up that we're going to be discussing, but just speak to us about International Women's Day. What's the history behind it and its purpose?
Sure. So some time ago, so around 1911 or thereabouts, there was a protest in New York, and the protest was centered around women standing up for themselves. So they were protesting having voting rights. They were also protesting salary and having, equal wage, as well as their working hours. So they wanted shorter working hours. So, I guess we've gotten 1 out of 3. But that's kind of where it stemmed from. And then, a couple of years later from there, International Women's Day began to be celebrated. But, over time, the awareness and focus on International Women's Day kind of diminished. And in about 2000, and I guess that's with the internet kicking in, we saw an International Women's Day page kind of pop up on the internet. And it kind of gave us the history, and it gave us, a logo, as you can see behind me. And it gave some direction in terms of, what International Women's Day is and how do we celebrate it. So International Women's Day in Bermuda, actually, we're in our 6th year of celebrating it. And it was actually started with our chairperson, Katarina Hoskins. And so, I kind of joined the committee 2 years ago with the second chairperson, who's named Wendy Piercy. And funny enough, we actually met at another women's event, Design for Impact. It must have been, God aligning me to her, because we just kind of casually met and spoke. And then we ended up having lunch at the same table. And then we ended up joining the same team for the actual conference. So it just, our relationship bloomed from there. She was kind of my contact because we were challenged to stay in contact with one of the women that we had met at the event. And she invited me to participate in the committee and putting together International Women's Day. And 2 years later, it's kind of become a passion for me.
So, LaToya, let's discuss this year's theme,
Sure.
I choose to challenge. What is the motivation behind that theme? And then how do you, LaToya, choose to challenge?
Sure. So this year's theme is Choose to Challenge, as you said. And it's basically saying, be intentional. Decide to put up your hand if you think that you see any gender biases. So I don't know if you guys have checked out our social media pages, but you'll see quite a number of photos where, the women have their hand up and choosing to challenge. And that's basically what it is. Put up your hand if you see something that's wrong. And, with history, things change because people have stood up for what they thought was right. And that's basically the premise around choosing to challenge gender biases. Whether you're in the workplace, choose to challenge, salary. If you're not, outside of the workplace, choose to challenge. If, you see all men that are, in the IT industry and saying, well, why aren't you inviting women? Or, maybe the ferry industry. We had our International First Woman of the Year last year. We celebrated Tammy Ray. And, she is the first female ferry pilot in Bermuda. And so from there, it's the question of, well, why aren't there more of them? So it can be any way you choose to challenge. My challenge is actually throwing it out there to organizations to be more intentional in how they support women, whether it's in the boardroom, making sure we're represented there, or in leadership, or, if there's policies around actually grooming women for those roles. And if you are an organization that already does that, then, share that information in the community so that we can do this together, because it's really a collective movement. And we are seeing a lot more women in leadership roles, and even, as entrepreneurs. So we are celebrating those facts as well, but we still have a ways to go.
Can I just say real quickly, I absolutely, and maybe it's because of my nature, I absolutely I choose to challenge. I don't know if it's because I love the challenging thing.
Probably.
I love that about this. So seriously.
It could apply across the board, really, but for International Women's Day, it's really about really focusing on the fact that, this is what we need to do to move forward. And if people, once they recognize that, yes, there are actually gender biases, even from a sexual harassment point of view, women were used to maybe getting compliments, or, something that's taken a bit more than a compliment, and it makes you feel uncomfortable. So be more conscious about how you interact with women and how you support women.
Now, the International Women's Day event is usually live at City Hall, but of course, due to the pandemic, you've had to shift to a virtual experience. What can, first of all, can men participate? But what can people who want to participate, what can they expect to get from the virtual experience?
Sure, Carla. Absolutely. Part of this journey of supporting women is definitely the inclusion of men, because, we see it. Men are in the boardrooms. They're already in the leadership positions. And so it's absolutely imperative that they join us in this journey. But for the actual day, so we have an hour-long event, which is, like you said, done virtually. And we have our, hostess with the mostest, Power Girl, Patrina O'Connor, and she will take us through the day. So, we had quite an environment and atmosphere at City Hall. There were, 400, 500 people, whether you were, going to show up anyway for the day, or if you were just passing along, we were able to kind of spread the message through that avenue. And that's the environment we're trying to create virtually. So while Power Girl or Patrina will be kind of managing or emceeing us for that hour, we have, Premier Bart and the First Lady. They will be participating with speeches. We also have an awesome, absolutely fabulous young lady, Mackenzie Tuckett, sorry. And she was actually just recently in the news for winning second prize for the Conyers Black History Month essay. We also have our new governor, so our first female governor. She will be participating. We also have Deshae Keynes. It's going to be an awesome event, and we are encouraging sort of a community. So, when you log in, it's not just about watching and observing the event. We have a chat function where we want people to, give out shout outs or, hey, Carla, I see you over there. I'm here too, supporting. And along with that, we're encouraging people to register, and the link is on our social media page. But if you register before March the 6th, then you will be entered into a draw for some prizes that we have, and we will be announcing those winners all throughout the hour. So that will be live on our chat. So, I'm excited about it.
And for those can you tell us the exact handles or website where people can register before March the 6th or by March 6th?
Sure. Our Facebook and our Instagram pages are IWD Bermuda. So the link is there. I couldn't really rattle it off to you, but it's a mouthful.
It's here. We've actually posted it now. So people need to go and register. Now,
Yeah.
they're going to be, and being fully transparent, I sit on the committee with LaToya as well. Tell them about the prizes that people are eligible to win, and how does women entrepreneurship come into that?
Sure, we have a few prizes, donated prizes, so such as grocery vouchers. We have three, as far as I understand, small businesses or entrepreneurs that have donated. One is the Strange Bird Bermuda, one is Pixie Grotto, and one is from Golden Palm. And we're adding more prizes on daily. So we're excited that, we're hoping we can, make announcements every 10 minutes. But we definitely have quite a few prizes that we think are great, that people will find to be awesome. And we're actually going to post all of our sort of prize sponsors on our social media pages, so people can see exactly what the prizes are.
I want to get back to the importance of the day, and just get people to understand why it's so important for us to recognize and celebrate women in the year 2021. Without getting into politics, we just know that a lot of behaviors stem from legislation and policies, but also there are things that are not traditional policies that have just been practiced as norms in workspaces. But just speak to us about why it's so important to recognize and celebrate this day.
Sure, Jamal. Like you said, because of the historical context, things are taken some time. So having women sort of recognized for being having the ability to lead. So we are kind of leading our households, even though we say man is the head of the household. We're running it, right? And people's needs are slowly recognizing that, yes, we are actually juggling, home life, work life, participating in other events, managing, our schedules and our children's schedules. And those things, while it may seem seamless, it's work outside of work, outside of work. And we do it, we kill it, we make sure it happens. And, it's slowly coming into a recognition that this is what women do. And businesses are also with the support of businesses, we can definitely perform at the same level as any man in an organization. So it's really important that people understand that where we see a man might just be kind of handling work. Women are handling the work life, the home life, the children life. Carla, I know you're shaking your head, right? Yes, this is everything we do.
This is important. This is important. Obviously, it's a day that's being used, International Women's Day. But what are some of the things? I know Carla mentioned she's on the committee. There are people that maybe want to get more involved and do things. How can they go about getting in touch? And what are some of the things that different organizations that may be connected to the International Women's Day are doing on an annual basis to offer support, or are these things being considered?
Yeah, so we are, like I said, this is our 6th year. We're slowly growing. We do have our committee has expanded this year with the addition of Carla. But if you want to participate, you can get in touch with us. I'm just going to read off our email address so I don't get it wrong. But it's Bermuda, BERMUDA, IWD @gmail.com. So that's, one way you can reach out to us, if you're interested in being part of the committee. And then, the committee actually has smaller pieces. So there's, the component of deciding what type of event we're going to have, or celebration, the marketing of it, the coordinating of all the participants. So there's various roles that you can play as being part of the committee. This year, we've seen a greater interest. We've, had the addition of somebody to manage our social media. And so we've seen so many, especially fabulous women just kind of joining in and saying, hey, how can I participate? And it's almost a little bit overwhelming for us, but we're trying our best to make sure, we can include everyone, because that's what this day is about, including everybody in this celebration of women. We want to celebrate your achievements. If you're an entrepreneur, we've seen so many new businesses start, COVID or just before COVID, by women. And it's like, yes, we want to celebrate you all. And that we're going to try to achieve that. It's quite a lot, but this day, and we hope to continue, past this day in terms of the celebration. So, just watch our social media space and how we do that.
I want to touch on that because you kind of transition into what my next question was going to be. Is you mentioned that men are included. That is not something when you hear of International Women's Day, you're thinking, I jokingly call Carla's women's empowerment conversations men hating because they don't include us. I tell her they're discriminatory. But all jokes aside, I'm just trying to get in to see what they say, LaToya. That's it. But honestly, it's interesting, and that to me says a lot, that organizations are evolving, that we can be pro-women, we can be focused on enhancing women and empowering women without excluding others. And that's the way forward, it seems.
Yeah, organizations, they just need to be a little bit more intentional in terms of, when we're looking for the next high achiever, we say we want both men and women, or female and male, right? So it's just those little things that you can implement as a business to support women. It doesn't have to be a complete overhaul. Oh, we need to have 3 men and 3 women on our board. Well, we want to just make sure you're intentional about, well, how did you come with, why is it all men, 6 men, instead of including women in the conversation? Because yes, it's going to be a different conversation, but it's for the betterment of your organization.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I do believe, and I, like I said, I jokingly say it because I believe there are space, like women do deserve their own spaces for women only. Let me be clear.
Thank you, Jamal.
It's just an ongoing joke because he likes to torture me on a daily. That's all.
But no, honestly, I don't want people thinking that I'm saying, oh, men need to be included or others need to be included. Like you all deserve your own spaces. But I do believe that there are times when, we can empower, one group of people, but allow others to be a part of it to assist where they can. So I definitely.
We definitely welcome the voice of men, because men identify with other men. So if you can assist in helping us to accomplish the goal of empowering women, supporting women, then yes, it's absolutely imperative that you be part of this conversation as well.
Indeed. And let's just be honest. I mean, there will be men who really do not understand or see from the perspective that women would see and experience from. So for them to be a part of it, they're learning as well. Man, you don't realize this. Let me take a step back and actually consider this perspective. So this is awesome. Obviously, it's virtual, as Carla mentioned.
Yes. Yep.
I like to do this at the end. Explain to us how people can sign up, be a part of it. We want to share as much information as possible.
Sure, Jamal. Like I said, we have our social media pages, and they are IWD Bermuda on Facebook and Instagram. You will find the registration link, which simply click on it and just fill out the information. It takes all of 15, 20 seconds. And you're ready for the actual day, Monday, March the 8th, for an awesome celebration of women and their achievements. What I also want to kind of throw in there is that we will also be giving our 2nd annual Woman of the Year award. And that's very important to us because it's, a local Bermudian woman who is, making huge strides in Bermuda, and not only for herself and her achievements, but for young women as well. And so that's a big part of this push as well, to include our include our young women as part of this event. So you will also see them in the event on March 8th.
So any idea who that person is that's going to be awarded?
I have an idea, but I'm not going to share.
They have to register to find out, right?
Exactly. Register to find out.
Well, you know what? I know it's going to be some person who's well-deserved.
Absolutely.
A lot of awesome women in Bermuda doing things. Actually, I'm the only man involved in this show, to be honest. So I'm surrounded by a lot of great women who are doing great things. So this is a
compliments, Carla. Compliments.
I'm telling you.
Not direct, but not direct.
I just put them a $5 on the Cash App. See, that's why I said it.
But no, LaToya, it's been a pleasure, and I love this. I love that you guys found this platform important enough to have this conversation with our audience. If there's anything else between now and March 8th that you want us to get out to our audience so that they're more aware, or we can get more people involved, please let us know. If there's anything you may not have said today that you need to get out, just know that Carla will be happy to make sure we don't forget anything.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I have to also say is that the International Women's Day, part of what we do is also support a local women's charity, which is the Women's Resource Center. So with our generous sponsors, and I'm just going to rattle them off really quickly, EY is our founding sponsor, as well as Wakeful Quinn, Willis Tower Watson, Butterfield, Appleby, HSBC, Zurich, and PwC. With their, generous support and sponsorship, we also sponsor and support the Women's Resource Center. So that's key in International Women's Day celebrations as well.
Indeed. And our friends over at the Women's Resource Center, they've been on a couple times, I believe. So I think that's the one that came on. I can't remember. We've had so many people. Or was it Center Against Abuse?
It was Center Against
Abuse. Okay, see, I can't it's a lot. But,
a woman had to set him straight. You see the trend, right?
Wow, really?
I keep him balanced.
I see that. I see what's happening, Carla.
Well, LaToya, thanks again. Just one quick question from the audience. Pamela Wade says, what times does it start on March 8th?
Sure. It starts at 12:30. So, make sure you try to get in a couple minutes beforehand. And the celebration shall begin. It's for 1 hour, and we are excited about the day. So please, everyone joining in, share with your, sister circles and, family chats. Just let everybody know it's going to be an awesome celebration for that day.
Indeed. LaToya Bean, thanks again for coming and having this conversation. And the door is open should you all need us again.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Have a great day.
Take care, you too.
All righty. I love those conversations. I do. And I think, so many, I just look at what you see in the news over the last, few years and how things, certain people don't want this kind of evolvement. Even women, I've come across men, they don't want to evolve. They believe, no, it's not my place and so on. So I love it. And one of the things that stood out, as I re-mentioned to LaToya just now, was that men are included. Like it's an inclusive vibe, and they've included you, Carla.
I know. I was honored, and I'm enjoying it. It's a dynamic group of women, and they're from a cross section, so it's been a great experience. So I'm honored.
Are you going to be present on the virtual thing?
I plan to be. Yes.
Okay. No, I like it. I do. And I guess my concern, I'll never forget this experience. I was in Las Vegas at the end of 2017 at a conference, and a white Bermudian gentleman was there as well. And he had made a comment about a certain CEO. And I said to this gentleman, I said, he says, basically, I'll just be very frank. He said, his comment was, I just think we should focus on having the best person for the job. And I said, well, what does the best person for the job, what have they traditionally looked like? And he went quiet. And then he said, oh, a white man. I said, exactly. I said, so is that the best person for the job, or is that a traditional norm? And it triggered his mind, like it got him thinking. We've become, and that's why I said to LaToya, some things are legislative and some things have been policy, but for so many other things, it's just been a traditional norm. They have been traditional norms. So you have not seen women in positions or non-white men in positions, right? There's a lot of good people out there. But if we're always going after what's tradition, will we ever know?
The one thing, as we were talking to LaToya, that stood out for me is like, she talked about this has been going on since 1911, and here we are in 2021, and while strides have been made, they still aren't enough. And so my internal question was, when will we collectively as women be enough? It's like, it's something to think about, that in 2021, we're still having these types of conversations.
And it will continue. And I think the reason we're still having these conversations, and this is just the reality, because I think at some point, and it goes back to diversity and inclusion, we became more focused on appointing people because of their race and gender rather than because they're good enough. There are people good enough that are women, that are not white men, right? But those people don't play the same ball game So you pick a face. And as long as you're picking that black face to, tick that box, or that woman just to tick that box, things really aren't going to change.
Right.
They're not
Status
going to
quo.
change. Yeah, it's gonna be status quo. So part of the movement has to be about putting the right people in place. But those people cannot be status quo, like, oh, I'm just here to get a paycheck and do as I'm told, because that's not going to change anything from where we are right now. If this is your first time watching, stick with us. We have the daily play coming up. Carla will need your help to get the answer. If you enjoyed the conversation with LaToya Bean, please give us a thumbs up, give us a like, love, give us a reaction. Make sure you subscribe, as you can see at the bottom of the screen on the ticker. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a lot of good content that's about to go up over the next few weeks. So do that for us. We're going to take a quick break, pay some bills, and come back with the daily play. And Carla's going to give us some inspiration before we let you get your week started off right.
Bermuda, do you know the difference between internet and Wi-Fi? Don't worry, neither did I. Let me break it down to you. Internet is delivered to your modem, which then has to push the Wi-Fi signal into the rest of your home. Do you find that the further you're away from your modem, the weaker your Wi-Fi signal gets? That's because Bermuda's homes are built hurricane tough. It's really difficult for that Wi-Fi signal to reach every room. But you're in luck. Our One Home Wi-Fi solution guarantees Wi-Fi coverage in and around your home with the help of our Eero devices. Plug in the Eero around your home and it will create a mesh Wi-Fi network in every room. Check us out at One today to sign up and make sure you can stream, work, and play from every corner of your home.
Are you a startup business and need access to office space and resources to help your business get started or to grow? The Enterprise Bermuda Incubator is a free program that helps entrepreneurs like you get beyond the idea stage to get their businesses started. Successful applicants will spend 12 months in the program getting mentorship, office space, learning opportunities, one-on-one coaching, and more. To apply, log on to bedc.bm. This is a free program with limited availability, so don't delay. Apply today. We look forward to helping you build your business.
All right, welcome back to the big show. Carla Zul, I'm Jamel Hartman. Thanks again to Medical House One Communications and Linda's. Make sure we're able to do this. Also, our friends over there at Channel 82, where you can watch this and many other locally produced shows if you have One Communications cable. Folks, Carla's going to need your help. All right, here's my quote book.
No, she don't. Take a relax. Go make a tea.
Here's my quote book right here. We're going back to the African American quote book. Hint, hint. First hint. It's an African.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, that would be your answer normally, right? All right, so here we go. Here we go. First, I'm going to give you a few hints of who said it before I even say what the quote is.
No, just give me the quote. I feel like you're putting training wheels on my bike. I'll take my DAC.
The individual was the first president of Tuskegee Institute, and the books include The Story of My Life and Work and Up from Slavery. Here's the quote. The individual who can do something that the world wants done will in the end make his way regardless of race.
I have no clue because I have no idea who was the first Black president of Tuskegee. So I need the audience's help.
All right. Books include The Story of My Life and Work.
I don't know, Mal.
And Up from Slavery. I'll say the quote one more time, folks.
It's for you folks because I don't know the answer.
The individual who can do something that the world wants done will in the end make his way regardless of race. Anybody want to help Carla out?
Not Booker T. Washington, right? Right? No.
Check you. Oops, wrong one. I gave you a bleep just now. That was actually right, Carla. Let me give you.
I got it. You're lying.
Let me give you an applause.
I got it.
Yeah, Booker T. Washington.
I know more than I know.
Booker
Did
T.
I?
Washington. It was not George Washington Carver. It was Booker T. Washington.
I'm better than I thought you were. Give me a clap. Give me a clap.
She wants a clap, folks. She wants.
I want more.
All right. So Carla got today's answer. She is 1 for 1 this week after about 3 minutes of thinking and somebody texting. Yeah, she got it. Linda Bell says, enjoyed LaToya interview. Let me know the cost. Please give a number. Thank you.
It's free.
Look, Sean Smith clapping you up. Look, Teresa saying, congrats, Carla, because I was stumped.
I'm more intelligent than I thought you were. That just was floating in my mind. Look at that.
Intelligent than she thought, but less intelligent than we thought. But that's another show. Carla, do you have any inspiration for us? I mean, you've done well today. That was.
I'm telling you, I am like flipping stoked. The difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do. Unknown.
It again?
The difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do. That's some science.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Let that marinate.
Folks, let us know where you're watching from. Let's get a roll call. I'm going to go first. I am in South Florida. Carla, where you at?
I am in Manchester, UK.
Manchester, UK. Give us a roll call. Let us know where you tuned in from. Let us know what you thought about today's conversation with LaToya Bean. Excellent conversation. Thanks so much to LaToya. I've known her for years. I'm from this industry, done work with her when I was at the other radio station. Awesome person she is. So I know that got Carla a part of it. So hopefully it's a good event. But
I just met LaToya. I think she's flipping awesome. I'm really glad that I got to work with her on this committee.
You just met her? As long as
I've just met LaToya in the last couple of months working on this committee. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I've seen her around. She's a Hornets mama, or she used to be with me, but yeah.
Okay, cool. Don the Ducks, Mark, that's where he's watching from. Don the Ducks. So for those who don't know, that's down Front Street in Bermuda. Don the Ducks. We got Porto, Portugal in the building. Atlanta, Georgia, hot Atlanta, everybody's favorite city. Look, people giving you love. Well done, Carla. Look, well done, Carla. They clapping you up. Look at you. Check Carla. People texting her the answers. Pembroke, Bermuda, getting some love. Harlem. There you go. One place I always wanted to live up there in Harlem.
Really?
Carrington Hundreds. Great conversation. 2 places I've never lived. Harlem. I remember when I went look for apartments up there. It didn't go too well. Trust me. Hamilton Parish, Bermuda. St. George's, Bermuda. Oh, she meant Harlem, Bermuda. Maybe that.
Oh, you thought she meant New York? It was like you want to live in Harlem. Nothing against Harlem, but
I thought she meant Harlem.
Yeah, Tomboy.
My bad. I didn't know you meant Bermuda. I said I know it's talking about Harlem, New York. But anyway, Carla, any final words for today?
Sign up, ladies, gents, sign up for the International Women's Day. It's going to be an awesome event, virtual event on March 8th. You can listen to it while you're walking, while you're at your desk, while you're on the toilet, whatever you do is your business. Just sign up, okay?
You say toilet. Tomorrow we have Craig Simmons coming up. He's going to help us break down the budget and understand it from a layman, because it's just too many terms people like me do not understand. So looking forward to the conversation with him tomorrow. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, and Lindos, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again tomorrow. She's Carla Zul. I'm Jamel Hartman. My friends, make it a great day. Peace.